Hey, everybody. Multiple Idiots, episode 18. 18 of these from me, Mike O'Keefe. 18. This podcast, it's buying smokes. Forget that porno mag you found buried in the woods. We're going right up to the 7-Eleven and we're buying that sucker in the plastic. We're doing it. 18. Buy me a lotto ticket. Great episode this week. I think they're all great, but this one is also great. Brad Wenzel is the guest. I've known Brad for 10 years, and he is a very funny guy, a guy I enjoy talking to, enjoy spending time with, and I think you almost got a sense of that on this podcast. He's fantastic. We have a lot of fun. Check Brad out. He's at Brad Wenzel on all the social media. If you're in the great city of Austin, Texas, he's at the Velveeta on February 8th and 9th. So go see Brad and listen to his podcast about the great Bob Seger. It's called Pod Seger. Get into that. Awesome. Thank you so much. Rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. If you haven't already, leave us 5 stars. If it's 5 stars, I'll read the damn review in this intro. It gives me something to do. I'd love it. I'd love to have more things to talk about during these intros because it's just me in a dark room shouting into the void, hoping someone listens. So give me something to read so I don't have to think of everything. Also, I am part of the Jazz Fuzz Nation, and I'd like to tell you about some of the other shows that record out of our great studio. There's Cringeworthy with Kalina Ote, which is a show about nasty, gross stuff, but it's very funny. And if you're not freaked out by poop and bugs that poop, check that out and have a nice time. Also, my good pal B. Casper has a show called That Time I Got Arrested. B. Casper is a bit of a jailbird, and she talks about her time in the pokey. And I'm going to be on an episode soon. Very excited to tell my very lame story about how I got arrested in college for drinking a bunch as a young, hot teen. Hot teen drinking story coming at you on That Time I Got Arrested. I'd like to see you in person if you're out there. I got some fantastic shows coming up. Friday, February 1st, I'm at the Lincoln Lodge in Chicago, Illinois. February 2nd, I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. February 3rd, I'm at Zoo Bar in Lincoln, Nebraska. February 4th, Monday, O'Leavers in Omaha, Nebraska. But the big one coming up that I'd love to see you guys out at, February 9th, I'm at Ant Hall in Hamtramck, Michigan at Planet Ant Theater. Would love to see you guys out. It's a great lineup. Coming home, doing another hometown show. Marty Butler's with me. Camila Bellario, who's a very funny comedian from Michigan, is going to be there. Timmy Cox is going to be there, who's another Chicago boy. And Marty Butler, who I've known for many, many years. The only time I've ever been to a strip club was with Marty Butler. And I'll tell that on the show next week, and we'll talk about me and Marty's trip to the Deja Vu in Lansing, Michigan. Regardless of that, thank you so much for being with us. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to all of this. Follow us on all the social media at Multiple Idiots, at the Mike O'Keefe. Thank you so much. Now let's get into it. Hey, Brad, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
Well, thanks you for coming. Thanks for being here.
Of course.
Brad Wenzel, you're a man that I've known for almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah.
That is most of your life.
Yeah, because I'm 11.
Yeah, you're an 11-year-old boy. And you're a very young, spry gentleman.
I don't know if I'm spry.
I don't think anyone's ever used spry.
No.
I apologize. No one's ever said that you were spry.
I make some sounds when I stand up and stuff. Like I know.
You said last night you never are charged above 70%.
I did
your
say
limit
that.
is 70%.
I say I wake up, I have 3 cups of coffee, and then I'm at 70%, and then I just dwindle. And I've never experienced 100% charge.
I think
as a human body.
How do you think anything could get you to 100%?
It'd have to be probably some like substance. I imagine would do that, like an Adderall or something. But I'm not going to do that.
I think you should try meth. I think you should give it a shot.
Try meth.
I think you should, at this point in your illustrious career, you should give the meth a shot.
My thing with meth is I'm fine. So I don't. That's why I don't do meth.
I don't do it because everything's okay.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I
could get some like chicken tenders or something, and then I'll be like, I'm pretty content.
What do you? Is that what we're gonna do after this? We're gonna get some chicken tenders. I'd love to get some chicken tenders.
I'm not against that.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the morning times, and so I feel like morning food might be in order.
This is the earliest we've ever recorded.
Thanks for doing that.
Why?
Sorry, I was being sarcastic.
I know.
I don't like being awake.
I don't like it either.
Why are we doing this so early?
We had some Cracker Jack shows last night in beautiful St. Charles, Illinois.
Oh yeah,
we had to deal with so much weird nonsense this weekend. At the Zanies, which are great shows. Awesome
very
shows.
fun weekend.
Very fun weekend. But
the staff there's always super nice.
Everybody,
I like them a lot.
Everybody who works at the Zanies in St. Charles is the nicest person that I've ever met.
They're real fun to be around and very nice. And
they're great.
But there were like curveballs, which was funny.
Let's break down your week of curveballs, and then we'll talk more about how we used to go to Tower Inn and get free pizza.
Well, or just specifically St. Charles.
The whole thing.
Okay. Well, so I've been at Zany's, which I love Zany's, but there's the Chicago room, and then there's a St. Charles room. There's also another one, but in Rosemont. But I didn't do that one this week, so it's not relevant. But
they don't like you out there.
And
they're in a strip mall. They're in like a fancy strip mall. You're by indoor skydiving. Rosemont, not your speed.
Nah, but I've had fun there.
Yeah, it's a good room. It's very fun.
But you put me in a position where I was like, well, I don't want to say I do badly because I don't think that's true. Yeah. But I also don't want to say I love strip malls either. So you put me in a real lose-lose.
That's what the subtitle of the show is lose-lose.
And but so I did the Chicago. I was doing a week of shows where it was like Monday, Tuesday in Chicago, and then I was in St. Charles Wednesday to Saturday, and then tonight, Sunday, I'm back in Chicago at the Chicago room. And I love the Chicago room a lot, but Monday a thing happened I had never seen in comedy before.
It's unbelievable.
Where what happened was occasionally in comedy clubs you'll have like a corporate or a company or something like have like a Christmas party there or something.
Hey, here's what we're gonna do. Instead of having everyone go to the break room after hours and drink beers in there, we're gonna get everyone in a party bus, and our whole 90-person company is gonna go to a stand-up comedy show at a comedy club, and they're usually not great.
And there's usually, I wouldn't even say there's usually a party bus. The party bus is more of a bachelor party thing.
I've seen a party bus before, but basically it's everyone from one company going to a club and just surprising everybody.
Yeah, and normally the thing with them is they're just like not fun because they don't don't want to be there, and they're just like it's a work thing, and I don't even go to stand-up shows, so I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
What happened this time was it was Monday, which Monday's normally a pretty chill day, and I got there and they're like, it's sold out. I was like, that's interesting. And then they were like, so what?
I've only done Conan twice.
What it's thrice. And what happened was a rock club had the guy bought 130 tickets for his staff, so he sold out the room.
One man sold the whole thing out.
Yeah, he bought the whole room.
The headliner.
And so, but it was a rock club and the staff, and so it was packed, and they did have a party bus, so they were very drunk. And so from the moment the show started, they were just like screaming and talking, and like normally at a kind of club you might have one rowdy table. It only takes one table to ruin a show,
100%.
and you'll have like one right. This was 130 people who just didn't know what stand up was, and they thought it was like
Music.
like a Metallica show or something.
Yeah.
Like if we were a rock band, they would have been great. We would have been like, wow, they didn't stop yelling the whole time. That's incredible.
That's exactly what our rock music wants.
It wasn't
people to
like
do.
It wasn't like I was a bad comic for it, but I could have been Richard Pryor. It wouldn't have mattered because it was just like from the moment the host stepped on stage, they were just screaming at him like a lot.
Yeah.
And then say the features, they kind of got tired from screaming, but just like settled into just talking, like just 130 people talking. And then I went up and I muddled through my act, and I got so many compliments / apologies after that show,
which is what you want when you're doing stand-up.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. You're funny. It's like, what?
You
Okay.
were great. I'm sorry that we ruined this.
You're the funniest person I've ever seen. Also, sorry about your car. We all went out there and we beat up your car.
Yeah. So that was just why I just had never seen anything like that before. And that
It
was
is
just
crazy.
that was like getting struck by lightning. Like that, that's just a thing that never happens. Like where you're like, oh, people took over a club like that.
It's also like there's no way they could have thrown anyone out.
No, yeah.
Because it's everybody.
Normally at a club, if something like that happened, they would just ask them to leave or be quiet. But there was just nothing you could do because you're like, it's the whole room. We just have to make the best of this and make them their money, and hopefully no one throws a bottle or something.
It's like when you're a kid and you're playing pickup basketball at the Y, and then a bunch of adults come in and they're just like, it's ours now, and you're like, yep.
Yeah, I had never in like my whole stand-up tenure, I'd never seen anything like that.
I've been doing comedy since the late 1920s, and I'd never seen that either.
I have what I would describe as road chops, and like I know how to handle an unruly. This was not that.
This is a different thing.
This was
a
wild.
whole other animal.
But then Tuesday, super attentive, very fun crowd at Zany's.
Tuesday.
Fantastic audience, had a blast. It was great.
And then fast forward to Thursday, which I featured on the St. Charles shows, and we get there. And the manager, who's this woman, Chris, who's the sweetest lady.
Yeah, she's the best.
She's great. She's amazing. We come in there, and she's like, hey, hi, can you guys work clean? And we're like,
I think the term she used was squeaky clean.
Yeah. Can you guys be squeaky clean? And we're like,
what?
Yeah. Huh? What? She's like, there's a church group here.
And they need you to be 100% clean. Like,
yeah.
Are you guys virgins?
Yeah.
Like, can you guys pretend you've never even heard of?
Go back in time and not fuck anybody?
You have the vocabulary of a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
But it was.
I think they'll be okay with poopy. I think she said that.
Yeah. But it was on like the moment we walked into the room. So it was very short notice. Yeah. And it was like, can you be squeaky clean? And I was like, no, because I can't.
Yeah.
I can be to an extent.
Yeah.
And I'm not a super dirty comedian, but if anyone were to ask me, I would say, I can do like X amount of time clean.
Yeah.
But for my headline set,
it's not what you want.
Third of it is not clean.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
that's just how I happen to do it.
You talk a lot about animals having sex.
I do that a little bit.
Yeah.
And then and there's just like some jokes just have swearing in them where it makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
And so if you're making a lot of edits, and they were like pretty specific, where they were like no innuendo, like no, like so they wanted it like church clean,
which is a completely different, like regular TV clean.
Yeah.
Easy. It's easy.
Yeah.
But
TV, the church clean and TV clean are different.
Completely different. And
Yeah, like you have jokes where you don't swear.
Yeah.
But you're like, just a church group's not going to like the content
of course
of
not.
This joke.
Yeah. And also there's so much shit that I have now that's just openly making fun of my time in high school at an all-boys Catholic school.
Yeah.
Which isn't, like, I don't say fuck. I don't say cum or butt.
Yeah, I have pretty like,
but I can't. But they're gonna hate that.
Yeah, I have like pretty light jokes about like Jesus to the Pope or something.
Yeah,
It's just like they're gonna get a
they're gonna be very mad about this.
But it ended up being really fun.
It was
because it
ended up being a blast.
We did what was asked of us.
Yeah.
But we were able to reference the fact that this was dropped on us at the last second.
Insane.
And the crowd thought that was funny, just watching us kind of scramble.
Yeah. Also, it was that weird thing where not the entire crowd was part of the Christian group.
Yeah, there were regular people there too who were enjoying the just the absurdity of it. Yeah,
because they obviously found out because the host this week was a man named Justin Leon, who's
super funny,
great guy, but he was like he's very he's just himself on stage.
Yeah,
he just walks up there and he's very much himself, and he referenced it almost immediately.
Yeah,
and and so there's these other people that are like, oh, they have to it was almost like a game.
Yeah,
in a weird way.
It felt like a weird one of those stand up theme shows.
Yeah, where you have to be clean.
Yeah,
but also in the room with Christian people.
Yeah,
which is
so. But it ended up being a really fun show.
Blast,
It was just funny that the curveball of it at the last minute being like, "Are you?" Are you Louis Anderson? I'm trying to think of a really clean comic.
Are you incense? Are you incense?
Yeah. Are you chimes? Could you just play some chimes on stage? They were good sports about it. We made fun of them a lot.
Oh, totally.
Without swearing, we were just like the absurdity of this, And they were good sports about it. They bought a bunch of merch, which was nice.
Records
they
from Brad.
Bought all my records. Yeah. So.
I had one of my favorite crowd work lines I've ever had because we eventually find out that they're Christian athletes, like the Christian youth athlete organization,
something like that. Yeah.
And the guy goes, "Well, what?" I was trying to figure out what religion they were. And what religion are you guys? And they go, "Oh, we're the Fellowship of Christian Athletes."
Should we use the real name on this?
Oh, yeah, they're not going to listen to this. No, they're fine. But he goes, "Oh, we're the Fellowship of Christian Athletes," and I go, "Oh, so not basketball, right?" And that. I was really proud of myself.
And they nodded knowingly at that show.
They really did.
I
think the people who weren't in the group really enjoyed that piece.
My favorite thing was because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And they were very specific about the guidelines of what they wanted, but we didn't know anything about what they were.
Yeah.
And so I just kept guessing at what it was. I called them a Mormon bowling league and I called them Lutherans for archery. And that was fun. I had fun making up names for them.
Yeah. But I talked about my illustrious 7th grade basketball career. Where I was the center on the team because I was this height then. And then in 8th grade, everyone else got taller and I did not make the team.
A fun thing you can do if you're a comedian listening to this, if you at the last second are in a predicament where you have to work clean, what I did is I would tell the joke with an edit. So I wouldn't say the swear or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I would say, I would say like jerk or something instead of of what I would normally say. And then I would say, I don't normally say jerk when it got not the laugh that it normally gets. And then they would laugh at that, So you could just tell them, I've just been shackled by this weird rule, But it ended up
adults
being
drinking alcohol can't hear a curse word.
Yeah, they were all drunk.
They were all drinking beers and shit.
But it ended up being like really fun and really in a really goofy way.
It was one of those things where that we used to have when we would do weird Detroit road stuff back in the day. Stuff like that would happen all the time. Like you'd just show up to a golf course. And they'd be like, you have to do 8 minutes and you can't say anything about golf. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. But I always had that back then, when I was doing those kind of things, I was like the opening act. So it's not as precious because you're like, easy. I only have to do so much time.
Yeah, they're not going to remember me anyway.
When you're headlining and then they're like, here's a giant wrench in what you're like, well, I did not play. I would have told you.
I would have told you not to do this.
But I run into that from time to time because of my face.
Yeah,
which we talked about when she told us. It's like everyone thinks I'm squeaky clean and I'm not. And it's just that I'm not super blue. and I'm not gratuitous, but people, I swear on stage a lot, and so people don't notice it at all. No one notices.
If you've never seen Brad Wenzel's face, it's weird when I see you and you're not throwing a newspaper at someone's doorstep.
Yeah, I got one of those. I got one of those.
You're very
very white bread.
Aw shucks, guys.
I have a very aw shucks face for sure. That is a good way of putting it. Aw
shucks. And then
my act is more odd, I would say.
It's more absurd than anything.
It's just absurd.
Yeah.
But sometimes I say dirty things without swearing, and sometimes I just say silly things with swearing. Yeah. And so then just all of a sudden being like, and then, but yeah, people, I get that misconception a lot. I can, if Brian Regan's listening and you want me to open for it, I can do like 30. I can do like 30 clean.
Regan is a huge fan of the show.
I know he listens, so. Because I don't want to feel like
I'm
completely incapable. I can do like 30 clean, but like the headline sets, longer than that.
O'Keefe on the podcast. Hope he gets a Grossman. Guys gotta have a wedding in 10 years. Things a Grossman. God, come on. But you grew up in the church, as I did, as these loyal listeners know.
Yeah, I went to raise Catholic and stuff.
Yeah. Were you an altar fella?
No. My brother was. I wasn't.
I did it. No.
The thing is, you can just say no. And there's like no rule.
That you have to do it.
Yeah.
I did it because it was extra credit. And like going back now, I realized that most of the extracurricular religious things that I did was to get from a C+ to a B in something. Yeah. Which is what a great basis for a religion.
I was a child and I had no desire to wear a robe.
Why don't you think you wanted to wear the robe?
There's something, I think I've always had like a slight aversion to uniforms. Okay. Of just like there's something very like weird to me about like put this on.
You gotta,
and you're like weird.
Yeah.
So there was the robe thing threw me because that like was not a part of my life anywhere else.
That's such an amazing reason to not do something.
And then the other thing was the giant candles.
It's scary.
Because you carry these giant candles, the biggest candle you've ever seen.
But it's on like a stick.
Yes.
So it's very top heavy.
And
it's very weird. Yeah.
And it's scary. I was just like, oh, that looks very stressful.
Yeah, it's not stressful.
Like, I was like, I don't want to wear a robe, and I don't want to be stressed out. So it was mostly logistics. Because it was like, hey, do you want to wear a robe for no reason and carry a candle bigger than you that if you drop, you'll go to hell? Or you can just sit here. And I was like, oh, I'll just...
You take sit here every time.
I'll just sit here, yeah.
And if there's no carrot of extra credit, sit there, baby.
Not that I was aware of, no. Yeah, that was, so I didn't do it, but...
Also, those robes, incredibly flammable.
Yeah.
That's not a good mixture.
Yeah.
I wish I would have said no too, because there's pictures that exist of me in said robes with said candle, and I look like a real sweet boy.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, there's not. There's definitely not. Yeah. But I think eventually in a couple years, once I do Conan for the fourth time, but I did Conan 3 times, but no one knows that it was 3. Everyone thinks it was 2, and we're all very proud of him. But it's always going to be 2.
That's only funny because I don't expect anyone to know any of that.
That's why I just explained it. Yeah.
But it's funny when what kept coming up was very close friends or people who know me like a long time, like Mike. Yeah. Truly would be like, "You did too," and we'd be like, "No, it was 3," and he'd be like, "What?" That kept happening recently, so it's fun.
It's a lovely. It's very lovely.
I don't want people to think I'm an egomaniac. I was like, you don't know my number of Conan. People don't know I exist.
Yeah. What do you think it's like doing a podcast for dozens of subscribers? It's the same thing, baby. The same thing. But we met summer of 2009.
Yeah.
Tower Inn, hosted by the great Russell Rabb, who I think is still doing Detroit Lions interviews on the radio.
Oh, really? I didn't
in our
know that.
hometown.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Love Russ.
Yeah.
But you showed up at that open mic. You were how old?
16.
16. You had a giant, the biggest tweed blazer I've ever seen. You looked
It wasn't tweed, but it was brown.
Brown, sorry.
Yeah.
You look like you were in the Talking Heads.
Yes.
You looked like you were stopping to make some sense. And,
In my defense, my thinking was, wouldn't it be funny if I wore this? And it was.
It was. We're still talking about it, baby.
Yeah. But now when you look back, you see pictures of it. It looks insane. Because it doesn't look like I'm joking. It looks like I was like, I should be wearing. That's what it looks like. Because I'm so young.
Yeah.
But it was done with the thought of like, this will be funny. But it just looks. So if you ever see a picture of me wearing a ridiculous blazer on stage,
crazy.
It's you can date that as like within the first year I did stand up.
Yeah. It looked like you had the visual equivalent to someone when they have a fake ID going to a bar and being like, yes, I'm an adult. Hello.
Yeah.
How's it going?
And I've like kind of always been 1,000 years old.
Oh, yeah. Were you one of those kids? Yeah.
On the inside.
So like, what are some examples of that, like from when you were a little kid?
Like this is how I sounded.
Yeah.
Like that, I guess that's a physical thing, but I just always, I was one of those like little like frog in my throat kids.
Yeah.
So like one time when I was very little, I have no memory of this, but I got into a bag of Lifesavers in like a grocery cart.
Yeah.
And I started to choke on one, and I was like with my uncle. And so then he had to like give me the like little kid Heimlich.
He slaps you on the back.
And all these people in the store are like freaking out because this kid's choking. And so then I'm fine. I cough up the thing, but then I'm just talking after that. And everyone's like, he's still choking. And my uncle is like, no, this kid sounds like this. Like,
his voice just sounds like a crypt door opening. That's just what it is.
And so I guess there was that. And then, I just have that energy. I don't know.
I feel like you have only listened to classic rock.
I listen to other stuff, but I did grow up on classic rock, and I do enjoy classic rock.
Which is like impossible not to do a little bit in Michigan.
I have a Bob Seger podcast.
Aaron's from Livonia, right?
Farmington. Oh, cool.
Aaron's from Farmington, and it's just like...
You should check out, because you are podcast heavy, the audio will drive you crazy.
Oh, you'll hate the audio on
bad.
Pod Seger.
We're working on it. But
yeah, Brad has a Seger podcast.
Pod Seger, you should check it out, and it's me and Trevor Smith, another Michigan comic, and
another guy who we started with, we've known forever.
Yep, and Trevor and I live
in
LA, and we get together and we talk about Bob Seger, and usually with another comic. We'll have, if you're ever in LA, you can do it.
I'd love to.
We'll just talk about what we love about Bob Seger, and it's a fun time. So I'm a classic rock guy.
You most certainly are. I had a very brief run-in with Seger where I said very sheepishly, "Hey man, Ramblin' Gambling Man, great song," and he just goes, "Yeah, that's a good one," and then he put salt in his beer.
He put salt in his beer?
Yeah, because he's a character from one of his songs.
The best.
Yeah,
I fucking love him.
He's one of those guys where he's only famous in like 3 markets, but in those markets he is beloved.
I wouldn't agree with that. I think he's nationally famous, but he is Michigan is definitely the
100%.
peak of it because he had a huge following there before breaking nationally. I think you would be downplaying him to say he's not nationally.
Oh no, I know he's nationally famous, but he's super over in like in the Detroit,
Midwest,
Cleveland, you know,
absolutely, yeah.
He was also one of those
Heartland
rock. He's also a guy that my mom swears played her prom. My mom's
that's a real thing. He did so many of those kind of gigs.
Yeah.
When I started the podcast, my cousin hit up his aunt on like his side of the family and was like, I know you're like a Bob Seger fan. Do you have any like stories or anything?
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, he played our school dance. Yeah. And then I figured out
so many.
the timeline and what building it was. And he literally played my high school gym.
No shit.
Yeah, Seeger did a show there.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And he did like
crazy
covers and stuff. And, you know.
Yeah. They don't, when you're playing a school dance, they want you to
she
play
said
the hits,
his Brown Eyed Girl cover was through the roof. That's what we learned. That's what she remembered.
Interesting. Yeah. That's a good song though. I like that song. What do you like better, Brown Eyed Girl or Pretty Woman?
That's a Pretty Woman, the like Roy Orbison song, or what? Wait, why are you comparing these two songs? I don't understand. Because they're both about
ladies.
Oh, that's why I was about confused. Ladies. I was like, what is did Van Morrison cover that? Like, what? You're just both about gals. I think I like.
What's your favorite song about?
I think
ladies?
I like Pretty Woman better.
Yeah,
it's
a good one. What's your favorite song about ladies? Is it Cisco's The Thong Song? That's more about garments, but
that's true. About ladies. That is weird because that's so open-ended, but also it's somehow specific.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Right away I thought of, I believe in a thing called love, but that's not really about ladies specifically. That could be about anybody.
You can love anybody.
Yeah, so I guess that doesn't count.
Yeah.
Now I'm just thinking of lady-centric.
Yeah.
Of Queen's Fat Bottom Girls is about ladies.
That's about ladies.
That's kind of a...
They also have my favorite song about bicycles.
That's true.
Yeah. Find Me Someone to Love. That's about bicycles.
Queen's songs look like my set list. It's just like nouns.
Yeah.
They're like, well, let's do one about bicycles, I guess.
This one's about the Flash.
Yeah, really. They're just kind of jumping around. Yeah.
I like Queen.
Yeah, Queen's cool.
We almost saw the Queen movie yesterday.
I haven't seen it yet. I would like to see it. And Mike wouldn't go see it.
I refuse. I said, listen, if I go in that and watch that movie, I might catch something. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. You know?
You had seen it twice.
I had seen it twice. That's why.
I hadn't seen it any time. So I was like, you want to go for a three-peat of this biopic? And he was not having it.
It's a great movie, though. I really enjoyed it the two other times I saw it. Oh, man. I tell you what, though, Brad. Back in... Did
I just drink really loudly? Did you get that? Yeah. I didn't. Fine. After I did, I was like, "That's probably gross, right?" Really loud.
I'm a loud breather.
No, not breathe. Drink.
No. He's saying I do that, so he does a lot of editing.
If I grossed anybody, if I grossed anybody out with it, I didn't realize how close I was.
I'll tell you what. A lot of people listen to this show just for ASMR purposes.
Okay, well, I had a solid gulp of water on there.
I think this episode is going to be a big hit with people who love deep, sultry voices.
Do I have a sultry voice?
I'd say sultry.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I think you could be... If I started a jazz radio station today, you would be my star guy. You'd be my guy.
Hey, this is Jazzy Jazzerson on the sound. That's my jazz stage.
You're so good at improv.
Very good at improv.
You're classically trained.
I meticulously write jokes.
Yeah. With a fucking laser precision.
This is what... Yeah. It's the cool my improv skills were completely free. I didn't pay anything. Pay anybody. Yeah, so I can... muddle through.
I paid for one of those classes. I did Improv 1 when I first moved here the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And a girl was in it that I had a big crush on. And I asked her out after one of the classes and she said no. And then I stopped going.
That's not the rule of...
I should have asked her out 2 more times.
She should have said yes and no, though, because I don't want to. But you're supposed to say yes. That's like the rule.
That's number one.
But you also, yes. Consent.
Also, I don't want to go on a date with you.
So she should have been like, yes, and also I'm canceling later.
Yeah. I will give you 2 hours of thinking that you've done something good. And then I will cancel immediately.
You know what they say? If you do improv 3
Yeah.
without improv 1, it doesn't make any sense. You can't follow it at all. It's like a movie.
Yeah.
We should cut that out.
Let's cut that out. We cut that right out.
Bad.
Also, the name of the woman that I asked out, this is going to blow your mind. Julia Roberts. She was
really?
Yeah, it was Julia Roberts was taking improv 1.
It's very bold that you asked out Julia Roberts.
Listen, I love Julia Roberts.
Who doesn't?
I always have.
I think you can love Julia Roberts and not feel entitled to Julia Roberts.
I was just trying to, I was new to town. I just wanted someone to hang out with. I didn't feel entitled. I just wanted to, get a drink with America's sweetheart. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, See where it went, She said no. Didn't happen.
Yeah, I guess you took your shot.
I'm not going to throw away my shot. That's from Hamilton. I've been referencing Hamilton on stage.
Big Hamilton guy.
I've seen it twice. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Crazy. I love it. I love Hamilton. I've been mentioning it on stage. No one knows what I'm talking about.
No.
No one knows.
I think because you don't specifically say Hamilton.
Yeah.
And like I got what you were referencing,
yeah.
but people
You're
are like,
smart.
we
You're
don't.
sharp as a whip.
Yeah.
Sharp as a whip.
Hamilton, even though it's like a thing that exists in the world, I feel like if you're not on social media, people aren't as hip to that reference.
Hamilton isn't on the tip of the tongue of the working man. Would you say that?
Yeah, that sums it up pretty well. Yeah.
And we know a lot about the working man. We've been stand-up comedians for our entire adult lives. We know a lot about what they're going through.
We're like Bruce Springsteen.
We're a lot like Bruce Springsteen in that we've never worked in a factory either.
Yep.
And I say that because he said it on the thing.
He did say it.
We don't talk
he said
mean
it
about
on Netflix.
We said it on Netflix and he said it on Spotify as well. But we don't talk bad about Bruce Springsteen. I think if I were to start a music podcast, it would be a Springsteen podcast. And then I found out that there are already
there's probably 500
million Springsteen podcasts.
Yeah, they don't. It doesn't need to exist.
Not at all. Not at all.
The Bob Seger podcast was created out of there not being enough Bob Seger content. That's why we do it.
Yeah.
Whereas Bruce Springsteen is the hard opposite.
Oh,
he's constantly putting out things.
Man, dollar signs upon dollar. He has he's a cottage industry. There's magazines. There's all this shit. But I'll say this. If you follow Pod Seeger on Instagram, you're going to get a bunch more followers.
Because these like Bob Seger bots.
They're Seeger robots.
Will follow you.
Yeah, it's great. It's great for the numbers.
Get a handful of robots.
Yeah, if you want your clout score to go up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you got to do. It's the thing.
It is a fun Instagram, though.
It's a good time.
It's a good time.
That is a good follow. So we're in Michigan. It's 2009.
Oh yeah, we got way off track.
Did we? This is how it goes every time. It's 2009. We're in Tower Inn. You're you're the psycho killer. How did I get here? What I got a beautiful wife now. I'm Brad Wenzel. What happens before that makes you start at the tender young age of 16? Start standing up comedy. Because I started at 19, which is considered fairly young.
Yeah.
16, younger than 19.
I don't even care. I think I consider.
Please confirm that for me very quickly. 16 is younger than 19?
That is true.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Because I consider starting 17, but the first time I went on stage, I was 16. I did like two mics when I was 16.
Yeah.
And then when I was 17, I did it the third time and like then kept doing it. So
Yeah.
I consider like when people ask, I say 17, but yeah, 16 was the first time I went on stage where we met.
Yeah.
And I had cable, so I would watch stand up and I loved, I was just a big comedy nerd in that way. And then my cousin Charlie was similar. He was kind of like my other comedy pal where we could go, oh, did you watch this guy's special? This is funny, Yeah. And we went to see some shows and stuff together. Not in clubs, but in like bigger
theater shows?
Birbiglia did the theater in Ann Arbor and stuff like that. And I had started writing jokes when I was like 15.
Yeah.
And I had a legal pad I'd write my jokes in, and I didn't know what I would ever do with them.
Yeah. You just had.
Yeah, I was like,
you had your own Twitter feed.
Yeah, before, just on a piece of paper.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I was like, I'm writing these jokes, but I don't know when I'll ever do something with these. And then my cousin Charlie, when I was like maybe a few months after I had started doing that, maybe 6 months later, unprompted, was just like, you're funny. If you ever wanted to do an open mic, I'll drive you. My cousin's like 6 years older than me.
Oh, cool.
And I think he wanted to do an open mic also.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I'm like, we're on the same page because I'm like already writing these jokes.
Material. Yeah.
So I kept writing for like another. I wrote for like a year of just being like a 15-year-old, 16-year-old writing these jokes in my pad.
Were they always one-liners? Like,
yeah.
Wow.
They were always short
amazing.
jokes.
Yeah.
They were bad.
Oh,
like,
do you remember any of the early boys?
My big joke was when I first started was I'm not in a band, but if I was, name it, Have You Seen This Child?
Yeah.
Because I just feel like with a name like that, people are more prone to accept your flyers.
There you go.
And then I'd go, excuse me, ma'am, have you seen this child? We're pretty good. That was my big
That's fun.
early joke. And then a lot of them like, oh, we're just worse, and like, or didn't even make sense. So there's a lot, and you're also like writing jokes like my brain just stopped developing now, so you're just like a literal child writing
you're
jokes.
A baby.
But so my cousin, he said that, so I kept, after about a year of writing stuff, I was like, I have 5 minutes, and then I got together what I thought was my best 5 minutes, and we went to the Tavern Cafe in Ypsilanti, Michigan, and then
Ypsilanti, Michigan.
I went up and I had a note card in my hand with my set list on it, and I was very shaky.
You were incredibly shaky. You looked like the last.
But it made it
to
like,
quote our friend Nate Fritzen, you looked like the last 10 seconds of Jenga.
But it made it like, I think I did better because of that.
Yeah.
Because it was like just fun. Like I had a great first set. Which
you
sometimes
really did.
like the first time I went on stage, it went great.
Yeah.
For even though I wasn't good, I did great.
Yeah.
So then I was like hooked. Yeah. And then my second time on stage was like very bleh. And then I was like, oh, I have to learn how to do stand up.
I remember the first time I went up, I had to follow our now dearly departed friend Ben Constantine running his Letterman audition.
Yeah, that would be tough. Just the tightest jokes possible.
This something he's worked 15 years on, and like doing it at the top of his game. And then I went up after him, and I literally was shaking. And I remember I brought a flask of Jameson, and I drank a shitload of it in the car before. So I was like, drunk but not drunk. Like I know you don't drink, but like imagine like last night when you hit your head very hard and it didn't hurt.
I hit my head pretty hard last night.
Smacked his head with a fucking lift gate on the Honda.
Back of a car. Yeah.
But like imagine that, but instead of getting hit on the head, it's a shitload of Jamesons. And you're not drunk. You're just like still like, oh fuck, like a damn tuning fork.
Oh yeah, and it feels like it would make it worse.
Oh, so much worse. And I remember I didn't take the mic out of the stand, and I just kept like shaking like that, like back and forth. So it basically looked like I was. It was bad for two reasons. Number one, you can't get a consistent sound out of the microphone if you're moving it all the time. And it looked like I was sucking a dick. It was just not good.
That's fun.
But I remember I got one laugh, and that was enough for me to be like, I'm in, baby. Here we go. And then I sucked until I was 24. So that's how it went. But yeah, that's
stand up.
Yeah, for sure.
How it goes.
For sure. I remember that first time you went up because you did like I laughed throughout that entire set, and I remember exactly why because you had your note card in your off.
I had a set list in my hand.
Yeah, but you were holding it in a way that made me think you didn't want anyone to see it.
Absolutely.
But you were like looking at it. You were literally just reading off of it.
I was literally, well, there were, I knew the jokes, but because it was just the names of the jokes on there.
Yeah,
but I literally was holding it at my side. Like my arm, so my right arm is straight down at my side with my fingers pointed at a 90-degree angle at my leg. And I'm holding a note card in that hand. So I would tell a joke. The mic's in the stand. I'd tell a joke, and then I would just look to my side. And I also am just like kind of shaky and nervous, but I'm also like doing well. So like my adrenaline is like through the roof. But that was my cousin mentions that too. He's like, you were holding it like no one ever would see it or notice it.
You were acting like you were trying to cheat on a test in school. Like that's 100%. I know that move, and I did that move many times.
It's funny because when you start stand up, especially if you're 16, but even just like grown people, you like literally don't know how to do anything. And so like it's because you ever see people, the thing that blows my mind, because like that's really goofy what I did, but I had like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm doing 12 jokes. And that's a lot to remember. So I'm going to have this weird cheat sheet and be real weird about it. But I've seen like grown people, like grown adults go on stage for the first time and not use the microphone.
Oh my God.
That is crazy.
So I've seen that a million times.
Because how do you not understand on a human level
that these people need to hear your voice.
The microphone is for hearing. Like, that always blows my mind. When people just, like, stand 4 feet away from it and don't even acknowledge the mic.
My favorite thing in the world is when someone very confidently takes the mic out of the stand, puts the stand behind them, and then...
Which is what you, like, that's the move.
That is the move. Classic move. We've been seeing comedians do it since the fucking 20s. But they'll take the mic out of the stand, put the mic stand behind them, and then never move the mic above their belly button.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Just put the microphone in their pocket. And then just start talking. And you're like, and then what?
Here's my TED Talk. Like, they don't know how lavaliers work. They just think whoever's doing that just has a mic in their pocket.
I don't know if they thought it was like a prop or what. But that always blows me away.
It's hilarious to me. But, you realize it's because people are nervous and they're dumb. And it's
I was up there in a blazer looking at a piece of paper in my hand like it wasn't there.
I mean, you look like a doofus beatnik up there.
Don't give away my act.
I'm so sorry, buddy.
You're teasing my jokes.
I'm sorry. I just think of you. That's who you are now to me. You're just a doofus beatnik, baby.
A guy called me that on the internet, and now I have a joke about it.
It's a good time. Has anyone else called you anything on the internet recently? Do you get a lot of those?
No, that was a YouTube comment. So that's just the most of what do you call it? Vitriol. Just the worst people. Just trying to say mean things. So I'm no one knows who I am or anything. I don't have like trolls or anything like that.
Well, you talked about the president on TV.
Yeah, so that's gonna,
I just assume that's
going to happen.
You know what I mean?
And what happened was they started doing a thing where they would, instead of putting the title on YouTube as just like your name, stand up on this date. That's how they normally do. Yeah. They were doing this thing. I don't know if they still do it, but for the first week or so, they would make the title really specific to kind of make it more clickbaity.
Okay.
So for mine, because I did one Trump joke out of 10 jokes, and it was a pretty benign joke.
Yeah.
The title was Brad Wenzel zings Donald Trump.
Oh my God.
So that from just the way the algorithm, the way the internet works, brought more just people who didn't even watch the set.
Oh, of course not. Yeah.
Anger towards me.
Oh, dare you zing him?
Yeah. So that's why I told a joke, and then in the set I go, I zing that guy, And
which, looking back, that's a hilarious thing to title that.
Yeah.
Like, that's a legitimately funny thing that they did.
Yeah. But I was like, we could have avoided some anger if we just referenced one of the other jokes. But what are you gonna do? I guess they got more clicks or whatever.
Brad Wenzel zings mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Brad Wenzel zings Queen's fat bottom girl. What other things could you? listen,
full of zingers.
I've been calling you the king of zing for years.
The king of zing.
You're the king of zing, man.
That would be my pro wrestling manager name. The king of zing.
Oh, baby.
They'd be like, because at that point I'd
really
be an ex-comedian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an ex-comedian who went into wrestling management.
Management.
And I would be the king of zing.
You're obviously a heel if you're the king of zing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no babyface managers other than, like, what, Miss Elizabeth?
There's a couple out there. Brad just did a crazy move to take a sip of water that I appreciated very much.
I sipped on Mike before, so I leaned very far away this time.
You did. You looked like Michael Jackson in the Smooth Criminal videos.
That's like, exactly what I did.
There was that one guy who's a babyface manager, Jimmy Hart.
I guess he was at a point, but he was mostly a heel.
Yeah, that's true. Why do you think so many comedians like wrestling?
Because it's very similar.
It is very similar. It's very similar.
Like my go-to thing for that idea is that Mark Maron's WTF podcast, very popular.
Hey, what the fuckers?
Comedian, him interviewing comedians.
Yeah.
And then Colt Cabana,
friend of the
wrestler,
show. Buddy,
did a podcast modeling it.
Same thing.
Right after. And it's because that's how similar the two things.
Sure.
You are eliciting a reaction from an audience based on your this thing you've crafted.
It's the only they're the only two art forms that are completely dependent in the moment on audience reaction.
Yes.
Like if you play, when the Rolling Stones play Street Fight Man, it's Street Fight Man regardless.
Yes.
But if you do one joke and it doesn't get a laugh, and you do the same joke and it does get a laugh, that's a different outcome.
We do jokes and then they just do maneuvers with the same idea in mind. And then if something goes
to make
awry,
us laugh at them.
If something goes awry, you have to improvise and try to make it work. And so it's like it's a similar and the trajectory is similar. Like
very similar.
You make no money for years, and then a handful of people break through and make some money, and then there's like 5 people making a shitload of money. So it's like that's similar. The craft similar. They're both like very American art forms, I think. So there's just so much overlap. Yeah. And I think comedians we're just kind of whimsical, fun, goofy people. And so wrestling lends itself to, like, if you don't take yourself too seriously.
Totally. We're doofus beatnik.
It's fun to enjoy wrestling.
For sure. Yeah. I only bring that up because I've had Marty DeRosa and Sarah Shockey on the podcast who are both involved in wrestling heavily. And we just kind of talked about wrestling, but never... There's that bridge there. You gotta bring people across the bridge, and I appreciate you for being a member of the Army Corps of Engineers to make that bridge.
Yeah, whatever I can do.
Listen, Brad. I've always said that you are a helpful man, and you're a nice man, and you're the king of zing. And I'm so happy to have you on here.
Thanks for having me.
Who's next? Who's next in the crosshairs for the king of zing? Who do you think you're going to take down next?
I'm going to take down, I don't know, Bread. Nah, I like Bread.
Yeah.
I'm going to take down...
The band or the food?
Both.
Yeah.
I'm going to take down, I don't know, ashtrays or something.
Is that because you just looked at an ashtray?
I'm just looking for stuff.
I think I'm really going to take down microphones. I think headsets are going to eat a dick soon. Awesome. Brad, this has been lovely. But you're here for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
We're not here to just glad hand around. We could have done this in my apartment. Yeah. We're not in my apartment. I almost said our apartment. Do you want to move in with us?
It's a nice apartment. It's very nice.
My old lady, my gal, she has a great setup that I really weaseled my way into.
You know what I say about Mal?
What?
She's a great gal.
She's a great gal. Mal's a great gal. Some people say Mal means bad in Spanish, and I say, shut the fuck up, my boss at work. So I got some questions. Well, you're of course here. It's we've been friends. You're my longest tenured friend who's been on the show yet.
Oh, cool.
We're gonna have Ricardo Flanagan on, and then he
Dethrones me.
He would have, but he had to do a commercial, and so
Television's Ricardo.
Television's Ricardo Flanagan, the star of Shameless.
Ricardo's very funny dude.
He's one of the funniest people I've ever met in my entire life. And
if we're gonna talk,
you want to talk Flan?
If we're gonna talk Conan stuff,
please do.
When Ricardo went with me, the first time, and unbeknownst to me, because when you're backstage, there's like a TV and you can see what's going on set,
it's like closed circuit,
closed circuit, and during the warm up portion of the show, when they get the crowd all excited, they turn it off. It's just like a logo. So I'm in the back. I don't see any of this. During that time, Ricardo won a dance off.
Did he really? Oh my God, that's amazing. Who did he beat? Some
other audience
lady.
members.
Oh, that's great.
And then like later, we're like walking around and someone like congratulated him or something. And I was like, what? And then Trevor was like, oh, Ricardo won a dance off. I was like, what? So,
that is, in a way, that's not
just
surprising
speaks
at all.
To the star factor of Ricardo Flanagan.
He's just a charismatic dude.
He can be anywhere.
Yeah.
He shines.
Mal likes to say that Ricardo is her favorite of my friends this day because he's the only one who knows how to fold blankets. I really appreciate him for that.
He's great.
He's the best.
Folded blankets.
He's the greatest. Anyway, you're my oldest tenured buddy to be on the podcast so far, and I appreciate that. I appreciate
thanks for having me.
Your decade of friendship. I also appreciate you saying yes, even though you basically had to. But that 10 years, that don't mean nothing. We got to put you through the ringer. We got to see if you're Bologna Boy material. We got to see if you're going to be Bologna Boy or Bologna Bitch. I've never said that before.
What is this show?
It's a show where I see if you've got the stuff, the goods to be one of my groomsmen for my wedding. That's not planned. No, I have no idea when it's going to happen, but I got to see if you're going to be up there.
All right.
I got to see if you're going to be standing with me.
Well, I'll do my darndest.
You ever been in a wedding?
Yeah, I was in my cousin Charlie's wedding.
What was your position?
Groomsman.
You were just up there hanging out. Did you give a speech?
I didn't have to give a speech. No.
Did you dance with an old lady?
Yes, I would have danced with an old lady.
You would have, or you did?
I'm pretty sure I danced with my grandma at some point.
Oh, what a sweet. Did you zing your grandma?
I would never.
Yeah, she sounds like a sweet lady.
She's great.
Yeah, can I have her phone number? Sorry.
No, don't bother my grandma.
What kind of tuxedo did you wear?
It was the same. We all obviously had to wear the same tux. I don't know how else to describe it.
It was just black?
It was pretty standard black tux.
Black tux.
Yeah.
All right. Black tux. All right. Well,
I'm gonna be in another one.
Oh, you mean Matt's wedding?
I'm there. I don't know if they're doing. I don't know the details if they're like doing wedding parties or not. I will be at that wedding. I don't know what my role is.
Makes sense.
The guy I grew up with, I'm going to be in his wedding party.
Oh, well, congratulations to you. And congratulations to our good buddy Matt McClary, who's getting married in October.
Good job, Matt.
Attaboy, Matty.
Psychopath.
You fucking staring off into middle distance son of a bitch. The fucking, he's the greatest. I love Matt McClary. Anyway, let's see if I can love you again after your showing earlier today. Let's see what the King of Zing's got. Let's see if he's got to be a Bologna Boy. Plan my bachelor party, you son of a bitch.
All right. So if I'm planning your bachelor party, why would you have me plan something? So we're gonna meet at your apartment. Okay.
This is already off to a horrible start.
So it's a nice apartment. So we'll meet there. We'll get the other goons to meet there.
Bologna
so I know
boys.
where that is. The other Bologna Boys. I didn't know what that was. Is that what they're called?
That's what I call my groomsmen.
Oh, okay.
And groomswomen.
You kept saying it, and I kept accepting it, but I didn't know why.
My crew, the Bologna Boys. Because Mike O'Keefe has a way with Bologna Boys.
So we meet at your apartment. we fire up the WWE Network, because I know you have that. and then we're gonna watch wrestling. I'll let you choose, because it's your bachelor party. Whatever you want to watch, or if you want to watch Japanese wrestling, we can watch that too. Okay. I know you're a fan of that.
Yeah.
And we'll watch wrestling. We'll order a pizza. We'll eat the pizza. I'll bring some beers.
Okay.
Just for you, so you can drink some beers.
Okay.
And that's all I got.
That sounds like a fun Thursday.
Yeah. Well, I don't plan things. I don't.
You really
don't. What am I gonna?
I have the same exact thing where I mean, we've been doing comedy for so long that when I have to plan social things, I'm just like, I just planned a fucking tour. I don't need to, figure out where we're going to dinner.
I would say I am, I don't know, I'm like goofy.
Yeah.
And I like to goof around, but somehow I'm also like not fun.
Yeah.
Like I like to sit around and bullshit with people at a bar where I can hear the other person. But beyond that, I don't like when people are like, it's like an activity, or I'm like, I don't want to do this.
Like if someone called you on a summer morning and they're like, hey, we have me and like our 5 closest friends, we're going to Disney World today. Do you want to come? Do you say yes to that? Or
well, if that's all, like in this scenario, if it's all like comics, that would be very fun.
That would be
just because it would be really odd.
The greatest day.
But if it's just people I enjoy and all of a sudden we're going to Disney World, I would go, but I would feel very like, oh man,
awkward.
I'm good once you get me there.
Yeah.
I'm bad at shifting gears.
Yeah.
Like on short notes. Yeah. So if I think I'm doing nothing or doing any certain thing, and then it's like, now we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
I'm like, for some reason that's very arduous to me. That I'm like, now I have to get psyched up for whatever this is.
I thought we were just gonna have an omelet, and now I have to be on a jet ski. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. I was like, I was in omelet frame of mind. Yeah. Now I have to get in jet ski frame of mind. So that's why we'll probably just watch wrestling in the apartment.
You know what? I don't hate it. I'll say this though. A couple summers ago, one of Mal's friends got a boat. And you can have a boat on the lake out there.
Oh wow!
And every once in a while, Mal would just be like, "Do you want to go on the boat?" And I was like, "I can't go on a boat right now." But I have a show in 2 days. I can't be on a boat.
A boat is there's something daunting about. Do you want to go on a boat right now?
Feels a little trapped, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. I like watching stuff. I will say that I'm down for like a concert or a movie or something like that. Mm-hmm. I'll do stuff easy. Like that. That's easy.
That's because there's not a lot you have to do.
Yeah,
you just have to go
and witness a thing.
Yeah. It's like what I'm either gonna watch TV,
a sporting event or something,
or I'm gonna watch what I would watch on TV.
I'm down
while standing.
I'm down to go to an event.
Yeah.
I'll go to like a sporting event for something I don't even care about, just for the hang, I guess, But
I like that.
So, but yeah, when it comes to like elaborate activities,
scavenger hunts,
I'm not good at it. You should have Trevor on here because he literally has planned scavenger hunts.
Trevor is one of those guys,
thoughtful and good.
Yeah, he's a thoughtful, good friend.
And I'm not.
Yeah. And Trevor's one of those guys where when he focuses on something, he goes so deep on it. Like he just really dissects anything. Yeah, and I wish I could do that.
Trevor's a good detail guy.
He's great. He's great at the deets.
He did for like for his girlfriend. They did like a scavenger hunt as like a anniversary kind of thing. So that's pretty cool. He might be able to come up with a better bachelor party.
I just found out we can Skype people into this. Ooh. So I think I'm going to start Skyping people in.
There you go.
Talking about big names like Mark Roebuck.
You mentioned omelets like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I really want an omelet now.
Yeah, we'll go get one after this.
Yeah. All right, cool.
They got them here. They got eggs,
we
cheese,
got a thumbs
ham.
up from the sound engineer. Oh, that made me happy.
Aaron does a great job of making this podcast sound fantastic. He also refuses to have his voice appear on microphone, but he does like to chime in from time to time.
It's fine. I've gone to him a few times just to make eye contact
to me, but I
about
love it.
whatever goofy thing we're talking about.
Yeah. I asked him what town he was from, and instead of going like, "Hey, Farmington," so the mic, he just goes, Farmington. It's like, all right, dude.
Farmington.
Shut up. Sorry for telling you to shut up in your own studio. The next question. What are your DJ no-nos and your DJ yes pleases?
Okay.
And your DJ Tanners.
DJ Tanner, oh my Lanta. That was your catchphrase.
That was her catchphrase.
So I'll get that right out of the way. That I do know DJ Tanner's catchphrase.
Nice.
My DJ no-nos, not too much, and
What?
just take it easy.
What do you mean?
Those are my notes for the DJ.
Oh, okay. I meant like, what songs do you not want them to play?
Well, yeah, I think I'd just leave it at like, hey, not too much.
That's somehow the
Take it
worst
easy.
and best answer to that. Just take it easy.
And
That's
then
fucking amazing.
My yeses would be Ramblin' Gamblin' Man. Every few songs, just every few songs. And then for when you and Mal dance, We've Got Tonight.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm into that. The correct answer is...
and then when I dance with your parents, Wooly Bully.
Wooly Bully.
Yeah, that'd be a fun time.
Bully. That would be great. I wonder if my dad...
Did the mic get my stomach growling just now? Did it get that? It's very loud.
We're going to Ham and Cheese Town after this, baby.
My stomach growls. That's really crazy. That's like a cartoon.
The correct answer to that question is get a band. Anyway,
yeah, bands are
way
more
better.
fun.
It's way more fun.
One of my cousins had a band at her wedding, and it was really nice.
I like a band. You interact. DJ's just he's just hitting.
They did like all like just
bar,
like funk and stuff. It was all like dance music. It was a band that it was just all dance music.
Yeah,
but that was like timeless and fun and stuff.
Yeah,
I think that's better than like because it's like
rock
not rock, but like they'll put on like some weird like top 40 club thing, and it's like, are people supposed to be like grinding in front of their elderly relatives?
Yeah,
like, what are you
weird.
trying to achieve here?
Yeah.
Like,
we don't need to the windows, to the walls, to the sweat drops down my balls.
yeah, it's just like
it's just not necessary.
It's like kind of people are gonna goof around.
Yeah. You said last night on stage, you said I'm just goofing around like 10 times.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It made me laugh every
I love saying that.
It's
I love
fun.
reminding the audience that I'm just goofing around.
I'm just goofing
Because
around.
they pulled back on a really random joke. That's
Yeah.
usually when I do it. Because sometimes I'll say a joke about pickles or something, but it's just like the tone or something. They're like, oh.
How
And
dare you?
When they do that, I go, I'm just goofing around. Or if I riff something, sometimes someone in the audience might make a weird comment.
Yeah.
And I tend to make fun of people who make weird comments during the show. And,
Everyone does. Yeah.
And after I kind of give them shit for a long time, I like to remind them that I'm just goofing around.
Hell yeah, dog. Hell yeah, dog. All right. Well, we've come to the next question.
Okay.
We're going to put you as head of security. Is that the job you are least suited for? 100%. You could not be worse for this position. But the show is the show. And you as the king of Zing need to know that the show is the show. It must go on. It must happen.
Okay.
So, you're head of security. Again, wildly unqualified.
I can do security. Man.
You couldn't secure anything.
I'm like,
you got taken out by a fucking trunk yesterday.
I did. I got pretty rattled.
You got rocked, dude.
Got rocked by a trunk.
It was ridiculous.
What do you call that? The trunk, the door to the trunk?
Liftgate, I think.
I went to put a bag
in
Mike's car in the back, and the lid was like coming down or something.
The lid. We just said it. It's called a lift gate.
The lift gate came down. I don't know. This wouldn't have happened if you had a pickup truck like I asked you to have, so I could just swing my bag in. But you didn't, so I had to try to go into this cave of a vehicle, and I damn near killed myself.
It is a cave on wheels.
It's a cave on wheels, and hit the top of my head on a door.
Have you ever driven a pickup truck?
Yeah.
Is it fun?
Yeah, they're big.
What if that was the last question? You drive a pickup truck? Is it fun?
It honestly, the ones I'd driven stress me out because they're so huge.
Yeah, it's weird. Right?
It's fine if there's no other vehicles anywhere near you, but other than that, parking, everything about it's too big.
My parents.
There's a big truck. There's like some of the, I think like older trucks were like a little smaller and not as like crazy.
My mom used to have a Ford, not Explorer. What's the biggest one? Like Expedition?
Yeah.
Excursion? Yeah, my mom used to have a Ford Excursion.
Crazy.
And I like learned to drive on it. Yeah. That's fucking insane.
My dad.
Mainly because they're rollover traps and they're not gas efficient at all. They're terrible cars. But that's how I learned to drive, was like.
My dad had a F1. Has always had like F-150s trucks, and I remember learning to drive on the highway in that. Insane. And it was through a bunch of construction.
Oh my god!
Where you're down to like one lane, and it's just those like orange steel beams every 3 feet.
Oh my god!
And you're
just on the side.
Yeah, and because it was such a big vehicle, I was just like white knuckling, just being terrified.
I drive probably. Like, I don't know, probably about 50,000 miles a year. That seems a little high, probably 30. But that's terrifying, you know?
Yeah, it's a lot.
So it is a lot.
My car now is comically small, and I love it. It's a Fiesta.
Oh, nice. One of the new ones that are kind of like energy efficient?
I don't know. I mean, it gets really good gas mileage, but I don't know. It's not like electric or anything.
Yeah.
But it's like, so I like driving it because you can just like make insane. The tires are so small, you can just make insane turns.
Oh yeah, it's insane. Yeah, and you're basically driving like a Mini Cooper.
Yeah, and I live in Los Angeles, so there's no snow. Yeah, so it's not like an issue in that regard. And it's like parallel parking it. It's so nice.
I heard you sometimes at Comedy Magic Club, you go in the parking lot and do donuts in your Ford Fiesta.
That's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie.
I thought it was true.
I play very close to the chest in that parking lot when it comes to parking.
I think you should start doing some donuts in some of these comedy club parking lots. Just a show after the show.
That was very dangerous because the parking lot is literally on top of the club.
Is it really?
You could
at the Comedy Magic Club?
Yeah, you park on the roof.
That's insane. I don't even know. I just pulled something out of my head. You should start. I think that would be a great way to just kind of like get more fans.
Make a splash.
Afterwards be like, hey, that was a great show. Thank you guys so much. You were a fantastic audience. Now let's all move out to the parking lot. Your headliner is going to do some sick donuts. I would love that. That would be, I'm going to write that down. All right, cool. All right. But so you're going to be head of security at this wedding.
Okay.
We're going to do something that I learned about in my 2 weeks at Second City. We're going to do a little role playing.
All right.
I'm gonna pretend to be an unruly wedding patron.
Okay.
And then you're gonna subdue me with your crypt door like voice.
Okay. Did you say door?
Crypt door. It sounds like you're opening a crypt door.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Like when our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, when the door of the tomb was rolled away on Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
Probably made a very deep noise.
No, I think that noise was like, it was like, dun, 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 dun. Yeah. That's how I always picture him coming out.
Celebrate good time.
And he's
Jesus.
just finger guns.
Oh, yeah.
Just a lot of finger guns.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, anyway, so Crypt Door.
I'm back, y'all. That's my favorite Jesus Cats phrase. Everyone's always quoting him as saying something, poetic. I think he was like, "Hey, it's me, JC. What's up, baby?"
I think he said, "Right." That's what he says.
Told you. All right, so here we go. This is in the middle of the ceremony. Wedding's happening up there. I come in. I'm an unruly British guy. Hey, what are you doing? Dad, stop. Wait, this wedding is terrible. I hate Dad. Stop the wedding. I'm objecting to the wedding. I'm British. Oh.
Is this when they open it up to, like, does anyone object?
Sure.
Okay.
I've got to stay in character because if I go out of the voice and go back in, I can't do it again. So I've got to keep going until the end of this segment.
I think he's Australian now.
I don't know.
He was British before. Now he's Australian.
Oh, no. Crikey, I'm from England. Why are there so many alligators here in England? That sounds a little bit more English.
Yeah, you're all there's swinging back and forth.
You've confused me about my nation of origin. It's half pirate, half crocodile on knee. Boys, it's not good. It's definitely not good. And you're not doing a very good job as to doing me. I'm ruining this way right proper.
Are you objecting or doing the voiceover for an Outback Steakhouse commercial?
No rules, just not getting married. When you hear your family, Australian for family. Eating good in the neighbourhood. North East Sydney for life. Bitch, I'll cut ya.
So you yell that in the wedding?
Yeah.
And then I'm security.
Yeah. How would you take that guy down?
Well, the thing is...
How'd you take me down?
You did open it up to objections.
Oh, that's right.
So this guy's like kind of within the rules. Like now's the time.
Oh, that's a great point.
Like you kind of were begging for it. Or he was going to have to forever hold his peace. So I'm going to hang back.
Boy, oh boy. I'll be honest with you. That works. That tracks. That dog finna hunt. Oh, Bradley. Bradley. What a nice time we've had on this run.
It's been a nice time.
I'm excited to see where we're going to go for brunch after this. Adam Gilbert will most likely join us.
That'd be great.
I think we should invite him. I think we should also invite the listener. If you're listening to this on the Sunday, go see us at Yoke. Before we finish up, I only have one more question, one more task, I guess. Before we finish up, there's a couple of things we got to do. I mentioned earlier, a lot of people tune into this podcast for ASMR-based reasons. So we have to do our weekly ASMR minute. So that will start. Oh, what's that? Oh, Aaron is just handing me something. Oh, some styrofoam. Well, that's good. All right, so here we go. Here's the ASMR minute. Talking down here.
Am I supposed to add?
If you'd like.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Keep going. Keep it up.
Why are you reaching down below your belt? Oh, you got. Oh, this is the ASMR minute.
This is the ASMR minute.
It's not sexual. Just a quick reminder that it's not sexual.
Keep it going.
What do you got? What are you pulling out for us? It's not sexual. I'll clean this up afterwards. I'm sorry.
Here we go.
All right. Oh, yeah. Girls hate our band. Living on the lighted stage up the unknown. We're the band that is called Rush. I love you, man.
thumb going into jelly.
Yeah.
Am I doing this right?
That was a good ASMR minute.
Are you not supposed to play Rush?
I don't know. Is that what gives you the little neck tingles, Rush?
That's a hot riff.
That is a great riff, man. Also, I haven't done this in a while. Paul Rudd. A lot of people think the podcast is a lot like the movie I Love You, Man, but real life. If you'd love to come on the show, we'd love to have you. If you're ever in Chicago, let me know. We'll have you up at Jazz Fuzz, and we'll have a time. How's that sound, Paulie?
Go for it, Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I think that would be amazing. And it also seems like something that he would do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those guys where he's like,
seems like down.
I invited everyone to my house, and we had cake or whatever, you know?
Talking about Ant-Man?
I'm talking about the Ant-Man himself.
You know what I say about Ant-Man?
What?
This was my review of the movie Ant-Man.
Yeah.
He's little. He's big. He's little. Ant-Man. You're great.
You're not wrong.
Right?
What's your favorite Paul Rudd role?
He is really great. I remember
fantastic.
really liking. I haven't seen it in years and years, but I remember in high school, I think it was when it came out. I really liked him in Role Models.
Yeah,
I thought that was a fun movie, and
it's on Netflix if you want to revisit it.
Yeah, and he was really funny in Anchorman.
Yeah,
I Love You, Man. Obviously, very funny. Also,
him in 40-Year-Old Virgin is my favorite.
Oh yeah,
Paul Rudd role. Yeah. Anyway,
Ant-Man also was fun. It was
Ant-Man.
movie.
I love Ant-Man. I love him. Little, big, little again.
Ant-Man.
Me and a friend of the show, Mike Cronin, saw Ant-Man, the second Ant-Man, in a movie theater in Cincinnati. We were working at Go Bananas, and we both got 2 root beer floats delivered to our seats.
Wow,
like fucking weird fat fucks.
I was somewhere unusual when I saw it. I might have been in New York City.
Ooh,
or something.
the Big Apple.
Yeah, I think
Taking a bite.
I think Garrett Elzinga was also around or something, and I think we saw him.
That's a good time. Yeah. Hell yeah. Do you have this thing, and I think a lot of comics have this, where you can remember where you've seen most movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that too.
I was kind of shocked that I couldn't remember this one more clearly.
Yeah.
Because I normally can remember.
Yeah. Because there's some movies that are like, oh, you're fine.
Scrap this.
whole thing's fucking trash. Yeah. Anyway, the next thing I have to do my weekly Bane impression, the Bane impression of the week. Of course, Bane, the villain from The Dark Knight Rises, played by Thomas Hardy. And then before that, he was in Batman and Robin, where he looked like a weird professional wrestler. And here's my impression of the great character, Bane. Hello, I'm Bane. There you go. Thank you very much. Weekly Bane impression.
I liked it.
Yeah, that was like a David Hyde Pierce. That was Fraser.
It literally made me think of David Hyde.
It was like a little Fraser's brother there. Yeah. All right, Brad, thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
And now I would like to call in Greg, our Foley artist. He's one of the best in the business. Greg, come in here. Greg. Greg, we don't need to talk. You just come in here and do the thing. So we're gonna make the sound that they make at weddings when they do a speech, and you're gonna give my best man speech, and then we'll take it on home.
Oh, okay.
Brad Wenzel.
All right. Hey everybody. Thanks for coming out to Mike and Mal's wedding. Mike's a good guy. You know, and I've known Mike a long time, and we did the show in St. Charles once where we had to be squeaky clean on short notice, and it ended up being fine. You know what they say about Mal? Hell of a gal.
Okay.
To these 2 lovebirds, may they work it out.
That's very...
Thank you.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
Short and sweet. Fantastic. A lot of times people come out here and they'll try and toast my damn nuts. And you didn't do that, and I appreciate that. And you did
just great at speeches.
You really are. You're a great public speaker. Have you had, since you started doing comedy, have you had to do public speaking in a different capacity?
Oh man, I had to read at a funeral once, which I thought would be easy because I do comedy, and it was horrible. Terrible. And I didn't look up from the book once.
Yeah.
That felt so uncomfortable. And then I'm gonna be my brother's best man.
Congratulations to your brother.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna have to give a best man speech for that, and I am and I have to figure out how to do that.
We'll send you this episode, and you can just say what you said about me, but just change the names.
Yeah, it's weird because I feel like if you're a comedian, there's some anticipation of it being funny.
They're just this guy's gonna fucking kill
also,
it.
You gotta give you don't want to. It's not about you trying to crush or whatever. You're supposed to give a nice
speech,
a sincere speech. So it's Well, I'll have to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those things where it's an odd line you have to walk between being out hilariously funny and very heartfelt and sincere. We've been to 30 weddings over the last 3 years. The one piece of advice that I could give you is if you're gonna make a joke, don't make it about how they might break up.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to do that.
2 different times. It was the same joke twice that 2 different guys at 2 different weddings both said, if this goes well enough, the groom will let me speak at his next wedding. And that's just the weirdest thing. And at one of them, the bride's grandma flipped that guy off.
Wow.
Amazing.
I've seen people try to do the roasty thing, and everyone always hates it.
Yeah.
I don't know why people think that that's popular.
I think it's because people are weird.
Yeah.
And they're very, especially dudes are just thrown off by having to be, I think dudes are thrown off by socially acceptable, genuine feelings.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Or they think that I think it's just, some people think they're really funny, and then that just comes off bad.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Brad, speaking of people who think they're funny.
That come off bad?
That's me. You came off very well today. This was very fun.
Good. This was fun.
And now it's time for me to make a decision, make a call on whether or not you're in the Bologna Boys gang.
All right.
The troop. Troop? I don't like that. You're in the thing. And I rule in the case of Brad Wenzel versus Bologna Boys. I can't let you in.
What? My stuff was good.
You only did Conan twice. We can't let you in.
I've done it 3 times.
Nah, you're out.
Can you recalibrate with the 3rd time?
My ruling is final.
All right.
Ruling is final.
Well, what are you going to do?
Maybe try and get on it again. We'll figure something out.
I was going to try.
Do you have anything you want to plug, buddy?
You can get my album. It's called Sweet Nothings. Third Man Records did it. You can get it on vinyl or digital.
Yeah.
And follow me at Brad Wenzel on Twitter and Instagram. I don't have that many followers on there.
Yeah. Follow at Brad Wenzel. Get the vinyl so you can see mine and Mal's name on the back.
Yeah. I thanked everybody who let me crash on their couch on the back.
Y'all, awesome. Brad, thanks so much, buddy. Let's go get some breakfast, dude.
I'm very excited about
man.
it. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. Thanks for doing it. Awesome.
No problem.
Till death do us fart. See you next time.